Hello YouTubers, this is Gold Standards 0924 coming at you with another video. So as you read at the top of this video, this will be a continuation of my TV's Forgotten Gems series. So for today's video, I'll be discussing on yet another particular cartoon that came out during the 1990s. And this cartoon was created by Damon Wayans, who created this show to center around his experience as a child growing up in the city of Manhattan, New York. And the show that I'll be talking about is none other than Waynehead. So, Waynehead, like I discussed, tells about Damon's experiences growing up in an urban city. And the show aired on the Kids WB block around the 1996-1997 season. And basically, this cartoon, was came out during like the early years of Kids WB. And when Kids WB came out, was 1995. When the WB was established. So when Kids WB first started, they relied a lot of their already established franchises because they brought in shows from Fox Kids with Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Batman the Animated Series. So eventually, Kids WB was really just trying to find their niche, try to find that particular show to really milk in on its success and really try to establish Kids WB as this pioneer network. And it wasn't until 1999 when they brought over Pokemon that Kids WB really started to become the number one kids programming block on broadcast network. Um, so basically, yeah, so Kids WB was kind of like the alternative to Fox Kids, since both those blocks aired on the weekdays and even on the weekends as well. And both those two blocks aren't around anymore, which is quite unfortunate. Um, I mean, when I was growing up, I did not watch Kids WB in its early years. I didn't catch it until like around the time Pokemon came out that I started watching the block more often. So I didn't get an opportunity to watch this show in its initial run. Not even reruns, because they after Kids WB canceled Waynehead, they carried the reruns over to Cartoon Network, and they reran it there for about a couple years, and ever since then, Waynehead hasn't been seen anywhere else on television since. Um, so it's definitely one of those really obscure cartoons that you gotta really work your way hard to find some of these episodes. So so like I said, I didn't get to watch it in its initial run. Not even when Cartoon Network was showing it. Um, so I mean, they didn't reran it for very long either. So I mean, this cartoon just kind of came and went like the wind. Um, Now there are some notable voiceover roles because the show was created by Damon Wayans. The rest of the Wayans family also contributed to the making of this cartoon. You have Kim Wayans. They both worked together on In Living Color along with Damon Wayans. Yeah, she played the mother of Damie. You also had Shawn and Marlon, the Wayans brothers, who also played Damie's best friends on the show. Um, John Witherspoon, who played the father, and coincidentally enough, he also worked with Shawn and Marlon on the Wayans as well, and both those shows aired on the same network. So yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting to learn there. Um, and lastly, you have obviously the main character, Damie, who was voiceover by none other than Orlando Brown, who a lot of people know him as Eddie from That's So Raven, and he also did some. Yeah, he also was added to the role of Family Matters during the last few seasons, and yeah, so he also did some voiceover work as Damie. Yeah, and also did some work in Major Pain as well with Damon Wayans. So I guess they were pretty tight with each other. When it comes to working on the show. Um, and also Gary Coleman also did some voiceover work as well. Um, Lord rest his soul. So Wayne had, as far as moments and episodes go, I mean, it's really hard to really critique on this show because Waynehead, wasn't anything groundbreaking. It wasn't anything that stood the test of time. But but for a cartoon that only ran for 13 episodes, it's just a very simple, straightforward storytelling of a young innocent, of innocence growing up, and some of the troubles, the challenges, the obstacles that kind of puts in Damon's face. Um, so Wayne had a couple episodes to make note of. Um, you had Brothers and Bros, where Damien learns the differences between some of the friends and the close family members that he affiliates with. Um, you also had To Be or Not to Be, where Damie shows his appreciation for Vikings, and because his appreciation inspires him to perform in this Shakespeare play, and the only thing that kind of that he feels that's holding him back is that what his friends would think if they saw him perform in a Shakespeare play, and that he feels that his friends would ridicule him, they would just lose their trust with him. So yeah, that was basically what the episode was about. And then you also had what would turn out to be the series finale, which was Rebel Without Paul. And basically, Damie, who owned a dog named Tripod, suffers some prejudice when New York civilians criticize him because his dog didn't have his fourth paw. And basically, Paul, just the dog has a leg, and they normally have four paws, but it explains why his name was Tripod, to represent the fact that he didn't have that he yeah, he had a missing paw, and these civilians are just really criticizing him for it. Um, yeah, so Damie, does what he can to defend his dog's honor and whatnot. Um, yeah, so those are like some of the key episodes that I could point out on. So Waynehead overall, I mean, it's a cartoon that's really hard to judge, and mostly because there's only a handful of episodes you could find on here. It hasn't been released on DVD. It's not on any video streaming website. The Wayans family haven't really mentioned a whole lot about this cartoon and what they thought of during the set of the show. Um, so it's really hard to kind of really judge for a show that just kind of came and went. Um, but fortunately, this was Kids WB in its early days, so they weren't really quite on the same level as Fox Kids, at least not at this point in time. Um, so I mean, Waynehead, just a cartoon that just ran for a couple months, and by 2000, they stopped showing reruns of this cartoon. Um, yeah, so definitely a show that it's really hard to watch. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. This is one of my shorter Forgotten Gems series. Normally I would just go into detail a little more, but Waynehead, there just isn't really much to discuss. Just a show that wasn't reran very often. Um, let me know what you think about the show. Just comment down below. So thank you guys for watching. Till next time, Gold Standard 00924 signing out.